Hi everybody. It's your friend Daredevil Hutchins. We're back again for a special presentation. This is a Hutchins Hut production. Now, before we start and talk about what we're going to talk about, I have some announcements to make. One, I am really stressed out about Easter. Because Easter's always just been one of them stressful holidays where you have to make sure everything is done perfectly. And if there's one word that Daniel hates, it's the word perfect. Because like I said over on Hutchins Hut Revolutions, which is a channel I do have, I hate the word perfect because perfect does not exist. Perfect is a word that does not exist, at least in my term. Now, anyway, aside from that now on to our other announcements. I got to try this really nice Chinese restaurant, and I got to finally finish Lent, even though I broke my Lent promise when I started. Now, in case you guys want to know what my Lent promise was that I would not watch blueberry inflations. But I broke that promise. And yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. Aside from that, yeah, okay. Now, anyway, more disappointing than the way she way. Okay. I decided I have so much stress built up on me right now, just between the drama on Facebook and my friends and my family and all the expectations and shit, that I decided to give my sister and my brother-in-law the Easter baskets early, because it'll make me feel happier knowing that they'll have a happy time. Whereas, I'm just going to be depressed after the day after. But, again, like I said, it is what that is. But like I said, the last 10 years, Easter has really been downhill. Last 10 years of my life, Easter, it's just downhill. And let's not forget that I'm not with Mom anymore. I'm completely by myself with my sister and brother-in-law. But again, like I said, now we are going somewhere that's not going to be near the TV. Yeah. The one private place where I can go. The garage. Okay. So what are we going to be talking about? Okay. We're already almost 4 minutes on this video. What are we going to be talking about? Well, we got some comic book news, guys. We got comic book news. And what are the comic book news exactly? Well, they finally finished the Daredevil Born Again show. I finally finished the Daredevil Born Again show. So, you guys, I know, want to know what are my final thoughts. What are my final thoughts on Daredevil Born Again? Okay. So we start off, and we know Foggy had died. And then, later in the show, we have the White Tiger, and he died. And then after that, well, we had some stuff going on with Vanessa and Wilson and all that, the Kingpins. And then after that, we then realized, now to justify the story, now we just decide, we're going to throw Punisher in there. Okay, so they throw the Punisher. About halfway through the show, they throw the Punisher into like episode 5 or 6, I think. And then after that, it's like, okay. Then it kind of got really, really dark. And then after that, I was like, okay. Well, we know the chemistry of Frank Castle and Matt Murdock. We already know the chemistry of what they are in the comics. So what are they in the Marvel television universe? Well, not exactly what you suspect. But again, like I said, crossing ships over from Netflix flagship over to Disney Plus flagship back in 2022 when they released the rights again. What's my thought on the final episode of Daredevil Born Again? It was okay. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't masterpiece or nothing, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is good. No. It wasn't like a masterpiece. It wasn't like art. It wasn't like anything to write home about, because at the end of the day, we know you introduce White Tiger, and then pretty much White Tiger pretty much becomes the whole premise of the whole entire show. And because the White Tiger was introduced and then dies, and then we have a whole show centered on him with Daredevil and friends there as well, it's kind of like when you slap, it's kind of like a slapstick. It's like, okay, you think it's going to be about the main character whose name is in the show, but no, it kind of reverses around somebody else. So then when you realize Daredevil Born Again wasn't really about Daredevil, it was more about White Tiger and how basically he had died in the show, and then realized that, oh, Matt Murdock, the lawyer, is going to defend the person who killed for the White Tiger. I'm thinking like, okay, you introduce a new superhero into the fold, in the manifold, and then you realize he dies in the same episode, and then after that, then it's like, then you kind of put all your crime fighting off to the side, while also, trying to be big shot Mr. Lawyer. And it's like, come on, man. You're Matt freaking Murdock. You gotta freaking be the devil that you are, man. You are Daredevil, for crime's sake. I'm thinking like, my final score, if I had to put a score on the show, I would give it a 2 out of 5. The reason I give it such a low score is because it wasn't necessarily focused on Daredevil. It was focused on the death of a character in his show. Therefore, with that being said, that is why I give Daredevil Born Again the 2 out of 5. These are my final thoughts of Daredevil Born Again 2025, the show that premiered in March 2025 and ended yesterday. So again, you guys have a nice one. See you later.